Hello everyone. In this video we are going to see how to test the GraphQL endpoints using the Postman client. So before proceeding with the testing with the Postman client, you need to make sure that you have the latest version of the Postman in your local. Let me show you what version I have in my local. So click on that question mark symbol, question icon, go to release notes. So currently I have Postman version 11.22. So make sure that you have the latest version so that you'll be able to see the GraphQL option when you are trying to import the endpoint. Okay. So now let's proceed with the testing. Go to new. So here you see the GraphQL as a one option, right? So if you want to see that, in order to see this option, you need to have the latest version of Postman client. Otherwise, you don't see that. So click on the GraphQL and then type the URL here. So what is the port number? It's 8081. So http localhost 8081 slash GraphQL. For all the GraphQL endpoints, the URL remains same. It is always ends with the GraphQL. It's not GraphQL, it's a GraphQL. No, without I. Okay, so this is the endpoint we'll be using for all the GraphQL endpoint invocations or execution. I mean the for inserting the data or updating the data or removing the data or adding the new data. For all these operations, we'll be using the same endpoint. It's by default this endpoint is the post operations. Okay, so before hitting the query button, make sure that on the bottom right corner, so currently it's a single pane view. Let's click one more time to toggle to pane view. Okay, now it is to pane view. So now you click the query button. So you will see the error message first. Okay, so there are two panes here. The below one is the response. The above one is the input request body that we pass it to the GraphQL endpoint. So here we can see the schema explorer, right? So this box, just expand this one. So here you will be able to see all the method we defined in the schema file. Okay, you can refresh this also. Okay, so these are all the method we defined in the schema file. So we have the query operation and mutation operations. Under the query, we have the get all student, get student by method, department. Under the mutation, we have add student, update student, and add student by parameter. Okay, so now we are good to proceed with the testing. So let's start with the get all student. So in order to test that, first click on that get all student checkbox. So the equivalent one will be generated on the right side, and then here by default all four fields are listed. So if you want to see only the specific fields, so select that fields actually. So if you select that one, that will be removed from this field. So if it is disabled, then the field is not available in that field will not be available in the response. If it is enabled, it will be available in the response. Okay, so only the department mark will be able to see if we run this endpoint. So now we are good to proceed. The query is same as the one what we used in the GraphQL browser, right? That is what we are going to pass as the request payload. Okay, so now click on the query button again. Okay, so now we are able to see the response. This is actually the request payload. This is the UI representation of all the GraphQL endpoints in you have it in the schema file, and using this UI representation you will be able to generate the query on the right side by just clicking on the method name and the variables name. Okay, so our get all student method is working fine. Now let's move on to the next method. Before that, you make sure you clear this box and go to the get student by department. So you can see ARG nearby the department field, right? If you see the ARG nearby the department field, it means it's the input parameters, I mean the arguments. Okay, so click this one and you need to input the value here. And then on the next one, we need to specify what are the fields we wanted in the response. I want to see roll number, name, department. Okay, so only these fields. So the equivalent query got generated on the right side. Okay, click on the query button. Okay, we got the output now. Now let's proceed to testing the mutation operations. So first one is the add student. So click before that, make sure you clear this one. So go to the add student checkbox, and then we need to pass the student object, right? So that's why we are seeing the argument text nearby the student object. Click the student object. So we need to pass all four parameters, right? So here also we can see the argument text added to the each field. So click on the roll number. So what roll number we have to put? So input the roll number 14 and the name is Martin, department CSE, Marcus 56. Okay. So and then specify what are the fields you wanted in the response. I want to see roll number, name, department, and mark. I want to see all the fields in the response. Okay, click on the query. Okay, so we got the response, right? The same student objects whatever we inputted, it got. We can see those fields in the response as well. So now go to the table. Okay, the record got added successfully. So now let's test the up, update student method. Clear this one. Go to the update student method. So we need to pass the student object here. So roll number. So I want change the name of this the 14th record number 14, the roll number 14. Okay, so roll number is 14. Name, from name Martin to I want to change it to Kavi. And department is same, CSE, mark is 56 same. Okay, and then what are the fields we wanted in the response? I want to see only the name because I'm changing only the name. Okay, let's run this query. Okay, let's check the database. Okay, the name is changed from Martin to Kavi. Okay, now let's test the next endpoint. Before that, you have to clear this one. Add student, and then click on the roll number. The roll number, what is the latest value we have? 14, right? Now make it as 15. Name Priya. Department CSE. Mark 67. And I want to see all the fields in the response. Roll number. So let's select roll number, name, department, and mark. So equivalent query got generated. Okay, so now let's run this query. Okay, we got the successful response. Success response 200. And then check the student table. Okay, this record also got inserted successfully. So this is how we have to test up the graphical endpoints using the Postman client. So you don't need to write all these things manually. You just need to click on the checkboxes. So based on that, the query will be generated automatically. If you are testing the graphical endpoint in the Postman client, you don't need to write this query manually. So you need to just click the method name you wanted to get executed. This is how we have to test the graphical endpoints using the Postman clients. Thank you.